Hey, real quick before we dive in, if you're a woman in midlife who's tired of the cliches and ready to live out loud, we're glad you're here.
Because you are definitely in the right place. We're not here to age gracefully, we're here to age boldly. So if you love real talk, big laughs, and the occasional spicy truth bomb, make sure to follow us on TikTok at Spicy Midlife Women for even more unfiltered midlife magic.
Because let's be honest, midlife isn't a crisis, it's an awakening. Hey, everybody. Jules and Michele here, your two spicy midlife women from the Emerald City, Seattle, Washington. We're going to share our real life stories with no BS conversations, right, Jules?
That is absolutely right. We are here to help all of you ladies redefine your relationships, ditch those toxic cycles we could have gotten into over time, and reclaim your power one episode at a time. So let's get into it.
Reclaim that power.
Yeah. So Shelly, what are we talking about today?
Well, we're going to dive into how to feel magnetic in midlife without changing who you are.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
Real talk here, unapologetically bold. We want to remind you all that already there.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that you have just needs to be owned. You just need to own it.
Less dimming, more owning,
don't
right?
Turn your light down. Just own that shit.
Well, you're right, because magnetism, you know, how you exude yourself isn't about perfection.
Yeah.
It's about your presence. And what you have done all along is have presence maybe, but not necessarily know how to convey that with other people. So we just want to talk a little bit about that, because I feel like the magnetism thing that we have is just bursting to get out.
Yeah. It's not about fixing yourself.
No.
It's about uncovering.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think too, a lot of people think it's like, oh, I'm going to overhaul my look. Oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to do that. And really, a lot of it is your essence. And you've heard like essence of a woman.
Sure.
You know? I think a lot of it's about your essence, or how you present or carry yourself, and a lot of that has to do with the level of confidence that you portray. So it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with, quote, the way you look. It has to do with how you come across.
Yeah, energy, to your point, that confidence, charisma.
Yeah.
Right? Not people pleasing or apologizing or trying to fit into society's molds that are out there. That's molds.
Molds.
Not moles. But yeah, not fitting into those molds. And, we're going to talk about the shifts that take place in midlife.
So how do you think that things shift?
I think it's about choosing yourself.
Yeah.
And you don't realize it. So it's kind of fun to be 60 now, because I can look back and I can see and realize when that was happening. I think when we're in the throes of those earlier years of midlife, we're not even realizing that we're on a path to doing that.
Right.
So, if anything, we're here to talk about that, to help some of the earlier on midlife women know that as you're moving through, and it's about choosing yourself. And
I think some people might have not even consciously put themselves in a position where they're waiting to be chosen. And so they're not choosing themselves.
Right.
And so this is kind of a wake-up call a little bit for that, because, you're in a position anytime really in your life to acknowledge that and recognize that. And there's ways to take that magnetism that you have. It can be quiet, it can be grounded, it can be sensual, funny, it can be fierce, it can be all of these things.
Yeah.
But it's yours.
Yeah.
However you choose it to be. So
I love that, because it doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be loud and bold. We use those terms a lot, and those things can be within you. But as far as the magnetism, it's almost more magnetic.
Yeah.
When it's quiet, grounded sensuality, right?
Yeah. So let's talk about, what are some signs that you have noticed or that you have seen out there, either in yourself or in other people, where people might be dimming their magnetism?
Well, I made reference to it here just a few minutes ago, the people-pleasing part. People-pleasing, over-explaining things, trying to justify maybe decisions that you've made,
Like you're having to talk someone into agreeing with you, you mean?
Yeah, kind of like that. Or just, maybe about decisions you've made or how you're living your life, over-explaining your actions. And that's not really necessary.
I can remember times where this is exactly what I had done as a new parent or as a young parent.
Yeah.
Where I'd be at different social gatherings, family gatherings, things like that. And I always felt like I was having to justify being this perfect parent.
Yeah.
It's maybe hard for some people to wrap their brain around, but I was around a lot of women that were the perfect hostesses and would make the perfect meals and have the decorations just perfect and the wrapping paper and all that. So I always felt like, if I rolled in like a hot mess, it was pretty evident. Or if my kids weren't behaving,
Yeah, we put those things on ourselves.
Yeah, we definitely do. Or like, think about being on a plane with your kids or something and how they're popping off and oh my gosh, when they were little. So you do put a lot of those things on you. And I think that does kind of dim your light a little bit because you're in a position where you're potentially, apologizing all the time.
Right. And that can lead into your worthiness and starting to doubt that if you're constantly doing that in so many aspects of your life. And then as you move on and start looking back and you think that the best years of your life are behind you, that is definitely not the case. I am here to tell you, if you're 40, 50 years old, the best years,
they're just coming,
are yet to come. And honestly, if I look back to the last 20 years, from 40 to 60, I would say that my early 50s were fantastic. And they've only gotten better as far as these types of things, like owning my worth, having that magnetism, whether it's quiet or whatever some of those things are, making the decisions to confidently be me. And it doesn't mean that I'm loud about it, but it's just that I'm comfortable doing that now.
Right.
And I don't worry about what other people think, or I don't explain myself.
Do you feel like you just didn't have time to spend on some of these things before that? I mean, because I think my 40s was kind of a blur.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of my 30s, I would say maybe mid to late 30s, kind of a blur. And 40s kind of a blur. You're going from one thing to the next, If you have children, it's probably a different type of frenzy. If you don't have children, you might have other things in your life that are creating some of that frenzy where the moments kind of connect together. And then the next thing you know, the year is gone.
Yeah.
Like we're over halfway through the year right now. And I cannot even believe it. It's just going so fast.
Yeah.
So yeah, best years definitely not behind you. I mentioned something a minute ago about the apologizing. I've run across that quite a bit. And I pay very close attention to that, even for myself. Or like there's this one woman that I have been helping, with work. And she is in her mid to late 30s, I think. I heard so many apologies out of her.
Yeah.
And she's very good at what she does. She's very vibrant, very good at what she does, but she's apologizing because she's still trying to figure things out. And I can see this in her. And I just stopped her and I was like, you don't need to be saying you're sorry for any of this stuff.
I've done that recently too.
Yeah.
With somebody younger.
Yeah.
And and I think too, part of that is, and you don't have to feel bad about that, but just like you did, bringing attention to it.
Yeah.
So that maybe they're more mindful, because the person that I was doing, it's a fantastic person.
Yeah.
Fantastic young lady. And I was more so like, oh my gosh, what are you apologizing for?
Yeah.
Stop apologizing. You don't have anything to be sorry about.
It starts making me uncomfortable when people are apologizing too much, like they're feeling like they're putting me out or something. I'm like, yeah, no, that's.
Yeah.
So I've learned that with myself too, probably through my 50s, I would say, because I would catch myself doing very similar things, not to that degree, but I started flipping it around and saying, because sometimes I'm late. I don't know if you ever noticed that or not.
Jesus.
Yeah.
She's
I'm on Peruvian time, right? But instead of saying, I'm so sorry I'm late, I just say, thank you so much for waiting. Thank you for your patience. That kind of a thing.
Way to spin it, right? Yeah, put a positive spin on that.
You can tell I was in PR for a while, right?
Just a little bit.
That's the one thing I learned there. So, yeah.
I think part of not changing who you are too, Jules, are some of the quirky things that we as women well, just, I mean, some of these things can be just for anybody, man or woman. But I mean, do you have a good friend who like snorts when they laugh?
Yeah.
Do you have? I think that is funnier than shit.
I know, I do too.
Especially when they don't have control over it and they're just laughing their ass off and then you get the big snort. I think that's like so funny.
I know.
Not in a bad way. I think it's adorable.
I do too. And I think those are the kinds of little things that are endearing to people. You know, they've got little quirks. Like my quirk, my eyes water. And so I'm always going like this, you know, kind of, well, not always, but whenever they're watering right in my eyes. And I remember someone telling me, you do this and you make this funny face.
Yep, she does.
Yeah, when I do that. And so I have consciously thought about that when I'm tapping on my eye going, am I making the funny face?
Yeah.
You know, but it is kind of funny. I mean, there's a lot of people don't do it because
it's just like when I point things out, I always use 2 fingers and not one.
She's like a flight attendant.
Somebody asked me that once at work. It was a new person that started working and we're at the morning meeting and she's like, did you used to be a flight attendant? Because I literally got the 2 fingers like I'm trying to direct somebody somewhere, but I just always do that.
Well, I noticed, Michele, with you, when you do that, it's like you're making a very strong point.
Yeah.
That's usually when I see it come out of her, I'm like, oh, here she goes.
You get it going.
Yeah. And I start making the little motions with her because I know exactly what she's doing.
Yeah.
You know,
all those quirks, though.
Those are quirks.
Yeah. All of them.
Yeah.
The snorting, the pointing, whatever it is, you know, that is whatever. Just own that shit.
Just own that shit. You know, don't let anybody tease you and make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
About it. Yeah.
That's right.
And then your style. This is another thing as you start transitioning, there's so much critique around like fashion, for example.
Yeah,
We've chatted about that.
Yeah.
Huge, because there's so many things that I love that there's really no reason why I can't wear them if I'm comfortable with them.
Yeah.
If I'm comfortable in them. I think a lot of it's just really dependent upon you know, what you're doing and where you're going and, you know, how you want to present yourself too. But really, it's like, I mean, you're probably the one person who I think owns that the most out of anyone I know, because it's like, this girl will just wear whatever the hell she wants.
I mean, you have to know your audience.
Yeah.
You do have to know your audience, right? So like you, if any of you seen our social page, you see every once in a while, I'll do the double bun thing on the top of my head. And I'm a 60-year-old woman, so it's not really that common that you see a 60-year-old woman in double buns. But, you know, the right time and place, outfit, and, you know, situation. I do it.
It's just schema,
it's
you know?
Just schema.
It's just your essence, your kind of style, your
schema.
Yeah.
This is a new word for me. If you know from our episodes in the past, I always learn a new word from Julie. And schema, I actually am digging that word.
Your moxie. There's another one. It's a very old-fashioned word, but that's what it means.
Yeah. That's why I like it. Moxie and schema.
Yeah.
Anyways. But you have to know your audience. But yeah, step outside that box. It's not something that it's supposed to be. Just like, you know, listening to that gangster rap in the school pickup line. But as soon as somebody comes by to say hello, you got that, to your point earlier, that realtor voice on. Yeah. And, you know, it's a different crowd.
Yeah. They probably don't want Cardi B on when kids are in their car.
It's probably not a good idea.
I like it like that. Okay. Anyway, and then your pleasure. Like we talked about music. Yeah. Music's huge for me. I know a lot of our listeners probably it's very similar. It brings me a lot of joy.
Yeah, me too.
And I get obsessed with certain artists and I'll re-listen to them over and over and over again. I don't, listen to the variety as often probably.
Yeah.
But that brings me joy.
Me too. No music, no life.
Yeah.
I mean, it truly is such a big part.
I know. We've talked about that before. It's like if I had to choose between losing my eyes or losing my ears, which would it be? And that is so tough. I mean, I think I'd actually
Do you mean your sight or your hearing?
Yeah. My sight or my hearing. And honestly, just for functionality purposes, I would probably lose my hearing, but I would be devastated because I want to be able to see where I'm going and not have to rely on other people, right?
See, I think we've had this conversation before because I would choose
hearing
to give up my sight.
So this would work really well for us because I could watch
and I think
and she could dance to
that's because I have all in my memory.
Yeah.
I have it all. And it's different with sound.
Yeah.
So that's why I would make that choice. But anyways.
We totally digressed.
Yeah, we sure did. But acknowledging those things that bring you joy is part of that magnetism.
Yeah.
and bringing things about without changing who you are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important to note that there are lots of badass midlife women out there who I really think we can look at as, role models. They empower magnetic energy and they just come across as very real. Now, I'm going to give you the caveat that I don't know these women personally. But at the same time, it's like, it's what I visualize, what I see, what they convey, when I see them in, on TV or whatever. Mm-hmm. They may be bitchy as hell. We don't know. But I mean, just what I see, that's not necessarily
their
truth.
Persona that we see.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Angela Bassett.
Oh my God. I love her.
Mm-hmm. And Stella got her groove.
Stella got her. That was one of my favorite.
Yeah.
I just rewatched that probably a couple months ago.
Oh, really?
He was 26.
Yeah.
I think she was like 40 or something. I'm like, get it, girl.
Yeah. Get it, girl.
Yeah. She was the cougar of all cougars back then.
But, strength too, because she did the Tina Turner.
Yeah.
That movie, What's Love Got to Do with It or whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's a fantastic, very strong, elegant woman.
Yeah.
And unbothered.
Yeah.
You can tell. She's a great, when you think about magnetism role models.
And think about like Serena Williams.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's in her early 40s, and that woman is a total badass.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she obviously has a pretty amazing career, and she's got her family and everything now, and she's prioritized things in a way that...
And she did not care doing that dance at the Super Bowl halftime.
Right.
Right? With the Kendrick Lamar.
She had so much fun with all of that.
Oh, yeah. She sure did.
I love that because she was not unapologetic about it, and she was totally having a good time.
Not bothered and feeling it all.
Yeah.
Good for you, Serena.
Yeah. So here's just a couple of examples. Brene Brown. The author and kind of she's like a self-help guru, if you will.
Yeah.
Always has really good messaging. But she's 58 years old, I think. She's a total badass.
Yeah.
And these are just women that are good to look up to or to follow.
Sade, just like using them as examples, just to give you an idea, because Sade, she is the total, like, quiet, magnetic. She is always iconic. I love her music.
Her voice is so sensual, and she's
fantastic.
Yeah, I love her too.
Yeah,
and her music, it just makes me happy.
And then there's, obviously those are celebrity,
right?
Whatever role models, but then there's, the everyday badasses like you and I.
Yeah,
right.
True story. Or the 52-year-old woman who left her corporate job to start her own business. Oh, that was me, but I was going to say,
who did that?
No, that was me, but I was 50, right around in there. Or, what about a
lot of midlife women dating for the first time in a long time.
That's a
first time in a long time.
Yeah, and identifying what does not work for them very quickly.
Yeah, and being able to, once identify that, do that thing of dating on their own terms.
Yeah.
Good job, ladies. All y'all that are doing it.
And all the single women out there, single moms,
the single ladies.
They're raising kids on their own. They're working their jobs. Isn't there a song about this by Alicia Keys?
I just was singing all the single ladies.
That's not Alicia Keys.
I don't know which one by Alicia Keys.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember what it's called, but there's a song. It's all about like the working woman, and it's like catching the bus early in the morning to get to work. And, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And you know what? Now they're maybe at that point where they're going to try to finally start dancing again for themselves. Maybe putting a little snippet of that in there here and there because they've done a good job focusing on everybody else up until the time when maybe they get a little time for themselves.
All these things, though, that we're talking about with women, that is all part of the magnetism that you have within. And being able to own that as you are and doing it confidently, I think is super powerful.
So let's challenge our listeners.
Oh, yeah.
Let's invite them to do a little magnetic moment each day.
Yes, every day.
Okay.
What would something like that be?
Like, here's a really good one I'm thinking of: making eye contact and smiling like you own the damn place.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That's a good one.
Not being cocky, but just making eye contact. And
I love eye contact. It's super powerful.
Very, very powerful. And, you're walking into, like, say you're walking into a corporate meeting or you're walking into some kind of an event or something like that. How you present yourself, how you walk into all of that, how you take it all in really is how people are, seeing you and how they're going to respond to you. And it's just a very powerful moment for you.
Yeah.
However you choose to do that.
A lot of different situations in a conversation, maybe with somebody you're dating, with your children, if you've got eye contact, super powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, mine would be say no without over-explaining yourself.
Yes.
I love that one too.
Or yes, say no without over-explaining.
Yeah.
I know, because I think we have a tendency to do that as a general rule, just to help people understand where we're coming from.
Yeah.
And we don't always have to be doing that.
Right.
This is when I was thinking about doing something that's just for you.
Yeah.
That's not something that you can do off your to-do list. Like you can check off your to-do list, but that's just for you. Like maybe it's taking a nap.
Yeah. Or just doing that facial mask.
Yeah.
And laying down in the bed. Just something for yourself.
Going to a movie in the middle of the day.
That doesn't have anything surrounding it to do with productivity.
Yep.
Just take the time.
Take a little more. Or another one is like a massage.
Yeah. There's that too. Julie loves those foot massages.
I do. I love me a good massage.
She goes to these like hole in the wall, dark lit, not even lit places.
I think I've actually taken Zoe a couple times to ones that were like happy ending places, and I didn't know it. This is me being kind of naive.
But anyway,
I don't need a happy ending. Is it cheaper?
But just do something for yourself. Yeah. So there's some challenges for you all to think about and do. Don't just think about it. Do some of those things this week. See the magnetic feel that you might get from it, all the magnetic feels that you might get from some of these things.
Yeah. And I think if you guys have friends or people in your life, your family members, what have you, that could use a little bit of a reminder of their own magic, encourage them to listen to this episode or just talk to them about it,
please.
Or to listen to it and talk to them about it. But it's like sometimes people just need just a little bit of a nudge in the right direction to get that confidence that they need to do something.
Love that. Share it with your friends, ladies.
That's right.
Do that hair flip and walk with confidence. Check us out, if you will, on all the socials. We are there, Spicy Midlife Women. We drop episodes every single week, and you can listen to us on whatever your favorite podcast platform is.
That's right. And until next week, we will see you later.
But until then, stay spicy, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.